You send a text message. 2 seconds pass, and before the other person can even type a reply, your thumbs are already moving again. You fire off a second message explaining exactly what you meant, followed by a third to prevent any possible misinterpretation. This reflex signals a nervous system that never learned it was allowed to stop talking. In this state, the brain treats conversational silence as a physical threat, triggering a defense before a conflict even exists. This conditioning often begins in childhood. Picture a glass slipping from a child's hands and shattering. She freezes, bracing for an interrogation. When affection feels conditional, survival depends on having a flawless excuse ready before the anger even arrives. Years later, the broken glass is gone, but the biological habit remains. An adult walks into a meeting 4 minutes late. Though no one looks up, she spends 90 seconds detailing the traffic, the elevator, and her phone charger, defending herself against a judgment that was never made. These rapid-fire justifications act as subconscious shields. You are testifying in an imaginary courtroom, trying to win a case that no one else is actually prosecuting. 7 unspoken beliefs keep this cycle spinning. The first 2 suggest that unexplained silence leads to permanent misunderstanding and a total loss of self-worth. To this mindset, a single mispronunciation feels like a final verdict on your character. Human biology reinforces this through negativity bias. On a massive, stark white canvas, the brain instinctively locks on to a single pulsating black dot. We are wired to fixate on the flaw while ignoring the vast space around it. When you sense someone noticing that dot, the amygdala fires instantly. It floods the system with cortisol, the stress hormone, overriding your rational thoughts before you can consciously choose how to respond. This deluge of details serves a biological function. It is a pressure valve for that cortisol spike. You are talking your way down from a chemical threat response, using words to manually lower your body's alarm level. Belief 3 involved the hippocampus, which logs every time silence was met with punishment or withdrawal. Every quiet gap in a modern conversation is being compared against those old memories of danger. The mind instantly rushes to fill these empty gaps as a preemptive strike against the trauma of past punishments. Words provide a sense of control, ensuring there is no empty space where a negative story could grow. Interpersonal dynamics introduce belief 4, the exhausting assumption that you are responsible for regulating how other people feel. This forces you to monitor every shift in a room's atmosphere as if it were your own emotional state. You react to a fading smile or a brief text message as a major conflict requiring immediate intervention. This is the fawn response, a biological strategy to appease tension before it lands. Talking becomes a literal shield, keeping the other person's emotions at a distance through a constant flow of explanation. When the other person finally nods, your brain receives a dopamine hit. This reward reinforces the behavior, training your nervous system to believe that over-explaining is the only way to reach safety. This cycle carries a hidden cost: loss aversion. Constantly justifying your thoughts signals a lack of trust in the listener's fairness. Over time, your words lose weight as they become markers of anxiety rather than clear communication. Trying to manage the internal weather of everyone around you is a recipe for exhaustion. In the attempt to stabilize everyone else, you inevitably abandon your own emotional center. Belief 6 shifts the focus to identity. When a simple mistake at the grocery store triggers a 5-sentence justification, you are no longer apologizing for an action. You are defending your right to exist as you are. Psychologists call this global self-evaluation. It is the process of taking one minor error, like a missed deadline, and using it as evidence to put your entire worth as a person on trial. This culminates in belief 7, the illusion that being perfectly clear in the present will prevent pain and rejection in the future. This stems from the intolerance of uncertainty. Our ancestors survived by predicting physical predators. Today, that same hardware scans for social criticism. We use explanations to manufacture a sense of certainty that the future simply cannot provide. These 7 beliefs serve as nervous system busywork. They keep the mind occupied with justifications to avoid the discomfort of sitting with an uncontrollable future. Beneath these defensive layers sits the core wound, the suspicion that you are fundamentally not enough. The default mode network keeps this fear alive by replaying conversations and imagining judgments long after they end. This network creates a hall of mirrors, relitigating the past in an endless, self-focused loop. However, the brain's internal monitoring doesn't change the external reality of your value. Just as a tree grows without justifying its pace or its season, your existence is an objective fact that doesn't require a supporting argument. Neuroplasticity offers a way out. Every time you choose self-acceptance instead of a frantic defense, you build a new neural pathway. At first, it feels unfamiliar. Eventually, it becomes your brain's new default setting. To start this process, implement a mandatory 3-second pause before adding a justification. During that time, ask yourself, am I sharing useful information, or am I asking for permission to exist? That silence is where the trial ends. By refusing to